Thank you, Eduardo Roscos and the Sphere people for this kind of invitation. Just to introduce myself, well, I am managing, of course, of building process information management through the last 20 years for Politecnico di Milano, and I'm the coordinator of this project, BIM4EB. I speak about this, but just a few words. 20 years ago, just founded the Building Smart Italy in Italy with other colleagues of mine, and participated to the European project Stand-In, chaired by Sintef some years ago, and have been responsible for different projects for, let's say, the use of BIM in the construction sector. Of course, today I speak about our project I am managing. I'm focusing on the building renovation activities, and the goal of the project I'm chairing is about to develop a BIM-based toolkit for efficient renovation of buildings. And the project is ongoing and will conclude in the next summer. You see 15 partners from different countries around Europe, and some universities, research institutes, public administration, focusing on the activity on the public sector. We are focusing on the residential buildings. That's why Region Lombardy is participating for some demo sites. The goal is to develop a BIM-based toolkit in order to manage renovation activities and to improve efficiency, to decrease the working time, cost, and also to improve performances, quality, and comfort for inhabitants. That's the focus also for the inhabitants, the occupants of the buildings. Some specific focus are related with the reconstruction of the BIM models using IFC, of course, open interoperable models for existing building, integrating semantic data, ontologies, and linked data. We have seen with an example with Peter Powers, we are also using these technologies to include also information coming and data coming from the buildings, the real buildings. And also the focus is to manage everything with a BIM management system organized as a common data environment. So at the moment, the project has been developed a preliminary analysis of needs of information requirements with the stakeholders, and a big focus is about developing ontologies and linked data to manage the activities. In the second phase, we are now closing. The toolkit has been developed. So as I focus, of course, the BIM management system, gathering all data and exchanging more data, also the linked data. Some tools for the fast mapping and survey on the building. Some others are for the planning of the activities, and some others for the managing information about equipment and so on. And everything is now applied in the demonstration phase and 3 buildings, actual buildings in Italy, Poland, and Finland. So the toolkit is focused with a core BIM management system in order to share all the information in an interoperable way. On one side, we have the activities related with the managing of data, so the fast mapping of the buildings, the actual buildings, BIM planner to manage the works for renovations, and BIM for occupants to share this information with the occupants of the building. On the other side, we have some tools related with the efficiency of energy efficiency of the building. Some areas is related with the management of, let's say, control system automation and the equipment. And BIM-CPT is about heating, ventilation, and air conditioning management. So the BIM management system is managing all the different data coming from the applications with the different layers for the exchange of data. So the models in IFC models, also using IFC overall just to consider the linked data technologies, IoT stream data coming from the building, and GIS data to manage the information at the geographic level on the building. So in this case, we see the one example of the IFC of one building or another, managing also the linked data on the data coming from the sensors on the specific apartments on the building, where it's possible to keep this data and to manage, to share this data with the occupants in order to control comfort and energy levels in the building. One example of the tool is the fast mapping tool, where we have use of laser scanner in order to gather all the geometrical data from the buildings and to convert this data into IFC file in order to reconstruct the as-built of the building. And a specific sensor stick has been developed in order to detect the materials and installation inside the walls. So, for example, specific pipes and so on, and augmented reality tool in order to visualize the 3D mapping of the building while managing on-site the building. So the results, of course, are the BIM reconstruction of the apartments, plus the specific, in this case, that's an example, the specific structural parts which are not visible but are inside the building walls. Another example is related with two tools, which are BIM Planner and BIM for Occupant. The focus is to manage the interaction between stakeholders while developing the renovation activities. Problem is about preventing the conflicting activities in the apartments with the management of the information from the contractors, the owner, and occupants and owners in order to ensure health and safety during the renovation works. So that's why we have developed in the toolkit the sharing of information between BIM Planner, which is about the construction management, the owners managing through the BIM management system the information, and a specific tool developed for sharing the information with the occupants, BIM for Occupants, in order to keep informed and take into account the availability of the apartments for the occupants. That's the example coming from the BIM Planner, coming from the building model of one of the building. This is the part of definition of the activities, so the scaffolding, and the location, the work location of all the activities for each apartment, in order to share this information between the facility manager, the owner, and the occupants. And when all the locations are related with the activities, of course, the planning, through the whole week planning of the activity in order to share this information. Of course, this information is shared with BIM for Occupants, where the specific occupants of the apartments have information about the comfort conditions of the apartments, can manage the plans, but also manage all the information related with the renovation activities. For all the information, of course, you may have a look on the our website, where you can have also all the videos for the presentation of the whole toolkit for developed by the project. Of course, as I told, some parts of our project may be used in future, as for example, for developing digital twin, and we are developing, of course, research going towards a digital twin. So thank you.